I don't care. I'm going to fucking just say it.
I love a fillet of fish.
Ja Rule is underrated. I don't care what anyone says.
You can't say that.
Mate, a cold Milo is better than any coffee.
Did you use my toothbrush?
I don't have to say allegedly. These are old crimes.
As soon as you see a hole in your jocks, just throw it away.
Everyone pisses in the shower. I'm telling you.
You better not get us kicked off here.
Mate, what the fuck do I know about Ecuador?
I'll just chuck a sickie.
I don't know what the currency is.
It's not my fault she's a fucking idiot.
Foghorn Leghorn. Like from the Looney Tunes.
What do you think's better, a dim sim or a potato cake?
Oh man, this isn't going to work, I'm telling you. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to yet another episode of the Mel and Jake Show. I am your host, Jake, and to my right, my beautiful, lovely, non-race day going wife, Mallysa.
Hello.
Never been to the races. Actually, before we even get into that, today's episode, as you may know now, is Race Day Disasters. Pure class to drunk arse. How many times have you seen images on the news of people just looking dishevelled, thrashed, and completely unclassy?
Well, I was just thinking before that I don't actually see it much anymore because we don't watch the news. And I think that
true.
would probably be most people now. Not many people are sitting down at 5 o'clock watching the news, you know? But I was remembering a couple of memories from like 2015, 2016 or something like that. Do you remember that chick that just ran up and pushed that cop into the bushes?
Yes.
It's so funny. And the other one was the chick that was riding the wheelie bin. Do you remember her?
Yes. I definitely remember a chick shoving a copper into the bushes, and she got into a whole lot of shit for that.
Yeah, well, fuck, you would.
I'll tell you what, though, I reckon 20 years ago, maybe not 25, 30 years ago, it wouldn't have been as big a deal. You might have got a belting, but you wouldn't have been on the news, and you wouldn't have got fined. That belting would have been your payback.
Yeah, but I reckon that I never went. I was thinking about this before. I don't think I ever went because I spent a big chunk of my life being vegan and really like into protests. And, you know, I was really against the races for a really long time.
Yes.
So I think that's why I never went to the races. And I did go once, but only for work. So,
for makeup
yes,
duties.
Well, not a makeup. I am a teacher and but in the beauty industry, and I was teaching makeup at the time at a beauty school, and they sent us to go do makeup touch-ups for I guess the people that were in those big tents.
Yeah, okay.
What are they called? The
marquees.
No. There's a
place called the Birdcage.
The Birdcage. Yeah, I think it was for people from there. I remember we did. I don't know if her name's Carrie Bickmore.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just another blonde lady.
Heaps of blonde ladies. I remember seeing Sarah Jessica Parker at the races, and I swear I thought she was a horse when I first looked at her.
That is horrible. Don't say that.
Look,
she is a fucking legend, number one, and everyone gives her shit about her looks, and she's amazing. So
look,
shut your fucking mouth.
I wasn't into that Sex and the City show, but she was awesome in Striking Distance, an old movie with Bruce Willis.
I don't know what that is.
That's neither here nor there, folks. It's funny, man. For those of you that are overseas and listening, you probably got no idea how big a deal horse racing here is in Australia. Like, there's a big culture for it. I know there's culture for it everywhere.
Just that time period. Like, people don't get into it except for the Melbourne Cup.
Yeah,
though.
So we have an actual holiday, a public holiday for the Melbourne Cup. Thank you for that,
You've
Mallysa.
got like some black sticky shit on your fucking forehead.
Really?
Yeah, it's gone now.
Well, I can't stick licorice on my forehead and not get told off about it. Yeah, horse racing is massive, man. And when I was young, it was a lot bigger than it is now. There wasn't really any protest people out the front and up to the cup and fucking yelling and screaming about horse rights. But when I was a kid, my auntie and uncle, they used to have a few horses, and they used to go out to the country races all the time. And I remember getting dragged along whenever I slept over my cousin's place. And I remember going once, and my uncle, he had a big F100, a big yellow as this jumper. His F100 was, with a big a horse's shoe on the back, and my auntie would follow behind. So he'd be pulling the horse float with the horses in his F100, and yeah, we'd be following behind. And they'd always bring this he was like a farmer guy who was into the horses as well, and he would advise my uncle. And I remember one time I was sitting in the front seat, and the old farmer was in the back, and he had a thing of coffee, and he was pouring coffee and giving some to my auntie and all that who was driving. And my auntie goes, "Do you want some?" And she passed it to me, and it was black coffee in a little thing. And I had a sip, and it was too hot. And I go, "Yuck!" And my auntie goes, "Chuck it out." I wound down the window, I threw it out, and the farmer had his window open, and it burned his face. You just hear, bloody fucking Jesus.
You know what happened in my head just then? When I thought that you were going to say that it hit the horses, and I was cringing.
No, but it burnt an old man's
I
face,
know,
and you're right with that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. As soon, because this is my feelings, yeah? Like when I heard horse, I was like, oh no. And then as soon as I knew that it had hit the guy, I was thinking, that's all right.
Yeah, just burned a poor elderly farmer's face off. That's fine. And I remember getting to the horse races, and there was a bunch of other kids there, country kids. You know, they all lived there. I can't remember where the fuck it was, man. I know it was further than Bacchus Marsh. It was out that way.
Right.
Like, it was out towards the west. I can't remember where for the life of me. But yeah, we used to be out there, and there was a grandstand, and my auntie's job on the day, while my uncle was messing with the horses, she was running the canteen. And the canteen was in the side of the grandstand. So if you were standing on the steps of the grandstand and looked over, you could see people lining up for the canteen. And because my auntie was running the grandstand, I could get free lollies here and there, right? And I remember getting a Redskin. And my cousins were there and a few other people, like their cousins. They were real country, you know, kids. And I was chewing on this Redskin for ages, and I built it up in my mouth. So I had a mouth, my cheeks were overflowing with spit. And I leaned over the edge to look at who was lining up. And there was a fucking bald man there. And I'm thinking, yes. But there was a whole heap of people, so I didn't expect to fucking hit him. But his bald head was the perfect target. And I went one powerful... And, you know, as a seasoned spitter, if you go, it sort of sprays. But if you go, it goes like a fucking venomous dart. And it fucking went through the air, zigging and zagging this red fucking spear of spit. And it fucking drilled this old bald man right in the top of the head. And then we're all like, oh my God. And we ran to the other side of the grandstand and sat there. And then he fucking walks up the grandstand and he's fucking looking around. And stupidly, there was only 6 of us in the grandstand. It was us 6 kids. And he just went, who the fuck spat on my head? Someone spat on my head. You little bastards. Oh, which one's your parents? Which one's your parents? And fucking, in the end, he just walked away. But he went off at us, and he was wearing a suit and everything, and got him right in his bald head.
I just know you. I know what was happening inside your head. You could not resist.
Oh, I absolutely could not resist.
You saw that shiny head.
But isn't it funny, though? Like, if I did that a million times, I wouldn't have got him. But fucking doing that like that, it was like a Mortal Kombat finisher. This fucking red arrow of doom just drilled this bald man right in the top of the head. It was fucking perfect. We got a ton of stories for you today, guys. This is very much on the tamer side. Well, that story was, but I'm telling you, the rest of the stories aren't very tame. So please get ready, grab the fucking horse, pick your winner, and let's go. Jake's story number 1. Pa! Yeehaw! So I was not a big horse racing man, but one year we went down to the Caulfield Cup for the purpose of a bucks party. One of my mates, a dude I used to play basketball with, he was having a bucks party, and it was me and 2 of my close mates and a bunch of people that I sort of knew but I weren't that close with. So I hung out with one of my best mates that day. We jumped on the bus, we're heading for the Caulfield Cup, and we made a fucking plan. And the plan was, we have to bet $40 a race, but you take one race and then I take the next race. And whatever the winnings are, we split, right?
Right.
So, first race of the day, I'm looking through the lists of names, and as I mentioned in the previous betting podcast, the name was all that did it for me. I saw a name and it said Devil Moon. Devil Moon. And I thought, that sounds like something that's going to win. I was just playing it over in my head. And then around the outside comes Devil Moon for the victory. And I'm thinking, this horse is going to win. So I put money on it each way. Ended up coming up. And we won about $400 to start the day. So we were just like wrapped. As the day went on, my mate kept bombing. He was getting nothing, but I was getting all these bullshit little fluky ones, and I actually got the actual Caulfield Cup, like the actual main race of the day. I fucking nailed it. And in the end, we won probably about $1,000 all up, which was brilliant. But the cool part about this was, because it was there for a bucks party, we all had to wear a green tie. Right? That's how we sort of knew that we were part of this group, and we were in this special marquee, the Nova marquee, so like Nova Radio. They had a DJ, and it was a bit more upper class than the rest of the races. You know, they had drinks were easier to get, but the shit thing was you could only get fucking Crown Lager. Crownies. Ugh.
I don't mind Crownie.
You don't mind? I've never seen you drink a Crownie in my fucking life.
Yeah, but I'll have one if it's there. If it's a choice, I'll choose it.
Crownies, for those who are not 70 years old, were massive. Like in the 80s, if you were drinking a Crownie, a Crown Lager, my God, you were like the epitome of class. But as you get older, Mate, they're apparently
know
aged
that.
a few more years than normal beer. Anyway, a few more days, sorry, than normal VB, and that makes them prestigious. They taste heavy. Anyway, that's all we were drinking, and this is a heavy beer to drink all day, and we just started getting fucking more pissed and more pissed and more pissed. Now, I was not a real drug taker in these days. Here and there, yes, here and there, but not really. Anyway, one of the guys could see me bombing out. I was getting really fucking blind from these crownies, and he goes to me, mate, I've got some stuff, come to the toilets with me. Went in there, and I had the biggest line of coke you've ever fucking seen. My eyebrows spun around 3 times, my hat blew off, my fucking shirt jacket opened, I felt like God. I was reincarnated, it was fucking unbelievable. I walk out of the toilets, and this entire place erupts into violence. Full violence going off. There was heaps of people in there. I don't know what the fucking dispute was, but this punch-on was nasty. Wow. There were people covered in blood. There was people getting hit with fucking chairs. It was just complete and utter fucking chaos, man. And once all that sort of died down and security threw people out and shit, it felt like half the place was empty. It felt like 2 factions of 20 people ended up just clearing out, and the place was a lot more spacious. And I was walking around for ages, revved up from this fucking coke that I had, and just enjoying myself, dancing, having fun. And I swear, after about an hour, I realised that I had the biggest fucking string of toilet paper on my shoe. I'd had it out there for ages. People were making fun of me. When I went and spoke to chicks later, she goes, you know, everyone was talking about it. And I'm like, fuck. And as I'm talking to her, I look down and my fucking fly's undone.
I was going to say I thought you were going to say you had the biggest fucking boner.
No. If I had a boner, it would have been out. My fly was undone. I had toilet paper on my shoe. And I started off the day, you know, in my mind, looking classy. And this is just only midday, and I'm a fucking hot mess at this point. So as the day goes on, we get worse and worse. We get fucking drunker and drunker. And then it hits about 6 o'clock, and we're supposed to kick on with this Bucks party. So we head to the casino, of all places. And you know how it is. If you've been drinking all day like that, even if you've had 1 or 2 lines, I didn't have any of my own stuff. I just got given one then, and I was dying, man. We got to the fucking casino, and me and my mate, Seals, we were out there on the dance floor, just shuffling around. And yeah, I couldn't move anymore, my legs. And he just comes up to me, he's like, we got to go, man. I want to go somewhere. I've got to get home. And then one of the other guys that was with us, he comes up and he puts his arms around us and he's like, boys, we're going to the pros. Let's go get some hookers. And fucking, I was not in at all, but I just said 100% let's go. You know, I would love a hooker right now. And my mate Seals, I've never been. I don't want to go. He was really apprehensive about it. But anyway, we went there. So we rock up to the fucking hookers, and I reckon it was maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. I think we're in North Melbourne somewhere. And there was only a few chicks working, and there was only one, like, available. And she came out, and the guy we were with, he was like, yep, I'll go with you. And so me and my mate were just in the waiting room, and we fell asleep there. And we were there for fucking ages, man. We slept in the foyer of a brothel until like 5 a.m. until they fucking kicked us out.
Wow.
That was the day. And I just remember getting home in a fucking cab, just so disheveled. And the worst part was, I went to drive home after all of this, not realizing how pissed I was. And the van that I used to drive had a fucking alcohol reader on it. And because you have to be 00. But it wasn't my van. It was my mate's van. Right? And he wasn't allowed to get any readings on that thing because he'd been done drink driving before. I jumped in this van to drive home, blew in it, shut the engine off. It fucking gave me a massive reading. And I just tried all day, every couple of hours, and I was still too drunk. He had to go to court in the end and explain that. And I had to go in there and say, that was me, I didn't know. I didn't know what that meant. And that's how we ended up ending the day. But a day at the races, man, I felt that I started off strong. We made money, but in the end, we probably broke even because we drank that fucking much and everything. And yeah, it was just chaos. It was chaos. There was violence. There was fucking celebrities, Sarah Jessica Parker. It was it was fucking unbelievable. That was my first really adult experience at the races.
I thought that was going to go somewhere else because you've told me a few stories of when you go to the prostitutes, like when you've ended up at the prostitutes, yes. And I was like, oh no, where's this one going to go? But I'm glad that it just kind of ended with you falling asleep.
Yeah, me and my mate napping in a bordello, as you do.
I was thinking to myself as well, stop saying fucking people's names
No.
And you're just going to like dob him in for going to see a prostitute?
No, he didn't even want to go. And neither did I. Well, I did. But I ran out of steam. All right, that was the first of my stories, but we have a bunch of your stories. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare yourself for stories from the DMs. Before we start, let me just start off by saying that we had a lot of stories, and some of these were very, very long. So once again, we had to put them through ChatGPT to kind of bring them down a notch. So apologies if they're sounding very stilted. They've been shortened for your viewing pleasure or listening pleasure.
Went to the Werribee Cup with my boss. I was the youngest concreter there and didn't really know anyone. We had the ute backed up with the entire tray filled with grog. Slabs, spirits, the lot. My boss was schmoozing all day, introducing himself to everyone. So I sat on the tray and drank. Didn't move, didn't socialise. That would be like me.
Or you just sit on the back of a ute at the races just getting... How do you even get a fucking ute into the races? They must have...
Maybe it was an long time ago or something.
Must have been. Or maybe you can sort of set up outside. Like I know at the Melbourne Cup, people used to set up outside with all sorts of things.
Yeah, maybe.
In the car parks.
Just kept working through the booze. End of the day, he hands me $500 cash as a Christmas bonus for all the hard work this year. I left early, got a cab to the pub, kept drinking, woke up the next morning in a bed full of vomit. Wallet gone, bonus gone.
Oh.
I gotta say, I've never woken up in a bed of vomit before.
Really?
That's never happened to me.
You've never lived.
I'm happy with that. I think I'd be able to smell it for years.
I've woken up covered in vomit, but in a bush, and with thorns in my face. I've woken up like that.
Oh my God. Once I was so stoned that I needed to lie down. Like, I think I drank and then I smoked, which is...
Oh, that's the cardinal sin.
Yeah, you can't do that. I was really young and I was so fucked that I needed to get away from my friends and hide. And anyway, so I ended up like crawling in these bushes at Ringwood Market. It's like an old, like you would know it. And I remember just being asleep and thinking, I'm so glad I'm home. And then I would open my eyes and I would just see fucking bushes everywhere.
Oh my God. But you
horrible.
were so wrecked and it was so much more comfortable.
And then I would just go back to sleep.
Yeah, you're just kind of happy with it. Oh, that's all right. I'll be out of here soon. Man, I've woken up in all sorts of spots. I reckon the worst was there was a place called the Wayside Hotel in the city. And a lot of us guys used to go there and we were playing billiards against people and all this shit. And one night, fucking one of these guys just busted out the black Sambuca shots, but heaps and heaps and heaps of them.
No.
And I had so much black Sambuca on top of the fucking 20 beers that I had that I went out the front of this place and next to it was a shop. And you know, you've got like the little hollowed out part where you walk into the shop. They've got a little step at the front, their little kind of alcove area. I was in there because it was undercover and it was raining. And I started vomiting and vomiting and vomiting. And I was so pissed, I ended up just sitting down in it and I lied down. I lied down in my own vomit like a ball pit at a children's children's play center. And I'm just kicking back in my own vomit like this, man. And as I'm sitting there, I saw a fucking taxi pull up and older guys that used to go to my school jump out and they're like, hey, yuck, whoa, mate, go home. Go home. Hey, put him in this taxi. And the taxi driver's looking at me like, nah. And he just drove away.
Gross. I think everyone's chucked off Sambuca shotties after they've already been drunk. That's just
They're fucking horrendous. That's a foul drink.
We went through a massive phase of lighting them up.
Yeah, flaming Sambucas.
Me and my
absolutely.
family, we used to have parties and we used to just do that all the time, like just fucking, and it's just lame. Like
it's fairly shit.
All right, next one.
I worked at Moonee Valley Racecourse as a chef for 14 years. Never had a bet, but went to Oaks Day and cleaned up. Champagne maths. It was 1992. I was in my early 20s at Oaks Day. Ladies' Day, Flemington. Hats too big, heels too high, big hair, confidence entirely unearned. Race 3, I win $300. Responsible? No. I buy multiple bottles of Veuve Clicquot. That sounds like a
like a champagne.
Well,
something?
yeah, because
it's
obviously
champagne,
the correct financial response to winning is immediate reinvestment in champagne. Okay, well that sounds like an expensive one. By race 6, I win another $600. At this point, I'm convinced I have a spiritual connection to the horses. I'm giving tips. I'm analysing form. I am, for all intents and purposes, an idiot with bubbles. More champagne. Race 8. I'll go big. A trifecta. You know what a trifecta is?
No.
That's picking all the 3 first horses. First,
okay.
second, and third.
Yeah.
I placed the bet, then I decide it's wrong. I went back to the TAB and couldn't change it. So I placed the normal bet. The race runs. My friend's boyfriend grabs my tickets. First one, bingo. $2,100, screaming. Then he checked the second ticket, the same bet. Turns out I hadn't made a mistake. I just accidentally backed the same thing twice. Champagne maths. I love champagne.
Nice.
Man, so she booked that twice, so she won $4,000 off that
awesome.
fucking thing. And in 1992,
yeah, that's big.
that's $20,000.
That's
big.
That's
$20,000 in today's fucking day.
Yeah.
That's nuts, man. Yeah, there's sometimes when you're just on a roll, especially when you're pissed. I remember that same day, you know, I was talking about that time I vomited at the Wayside Hotel and was swimming in it. That same day, me and my mate, Seals again, we were playing billiards, right? And we were playing billiards on the billiard table and we were playing doubles. And then these old guys came along, right?
Yeah.
And they ended up playing a few games and we were watching them and they were torching everyone. And me and Seals ended up getting on there and we had just the right amount of booze and we ended up beating them like 5 games in a row. And we felt like fucking gods of the felt. It was unbelievable. Billiard gods.
All right. Grew up within walking distance of Flemington. Oaks Day was basically Christmas.
So that's 2 Oaks Day stories in a row. Do you know about Oaks Day?
I'm a makeup artist. Of course I fucking know about Oaks Day.
Okay, so that's supposed to be Ladies' Day.
Yeah, I don't get it because I'm not into that, but man, they book out like crazy those days. Yeah, the whole Melbourne Cup season is so great for.
There's like a massive week.
Yeah.
Where it's a carnival. One of my good mates, he fucking loves horse racing, man. He'd save his annual leave for that time of the year and just go every day in a different suit.
That sounds really expensive. This particular year, I got absolutely feral. Started early, too early. By race 4, I was cooked. By race 6, I was arguing with strangers about barrier draws like I trained the horse myself. Anyway, nature calls. A full emergency. I decide I'll walk home for a shit. Easy. 10-minute stroll. I've done it 100 times. Halfway through the park, it hits me properly. Oh, stomach drops, cold sweats that you've got 30 seconds feeling. I don't make it.
Damn.
Broad daylight, people everywhere walking back from the track, families, couples, tradies in suits. It's a chick. I duck behind a tree like that's going to make me invisible and just let it go. Full-blown disaster. It's everywhere. Panic sets in. I try to salvage the situation. Somehow manage to shit diarrhea all on the back of my pants. Don't ask how. I do the world's most obvious walk home. People absolutely knew.
Get inside, straight into the shower, still wearing my... Oh, it's a dude.
Oh.
Get inside, straight into the shower, still wearing my jocks because I'm not thinking straight. I ripped them off mid-shower and threw them on the floor of the shower. What I didn't realise is they covered the drain. Next minute, the water's rising. I'm too pissed to understand. Everything's brown. And it starts spilling out of the shower across the tiles and down the hallway. A literal diarrhea flood through my home. I was too fucked up to clean, so I woke up at 5 a.m. the next day to deal with the mess. The house stank for days. Oh my God.
That's bad.
Shit, mate, if you're showering in your jocks, you're fucked. You're just fucked. Just sitting there, Oh, I make those noises when I'm really blind. I make those noises.
Because I do too.
Because you're half groaning and you're kind of talking to yourself and you just end up going...
Oh, man.
Yeah, that is absolutely fucking horrendous.
All right, you read this one.
Last
you took over my story.
Well, you paused. I thought you thought it ended.
No, I didn't. I was just shocked.
Okay. Well, it got way worse.
Yeah, no, that's why I think I was stopping.
If that happened to you, would you rather deal with the diarrhea mess while you're still blind so the next day you're not waking up to it? Or would you rather go to sleep and then wake up and be like, oh, God.
Nah, if I was drunk trying to clean, I'll make more of a mess.
You reckon?
Yeah, I'll smush it into the carpet, At least if I'm sober the next day, I can think of a better plan.
Yeah, fair enough.
Get sticky tape, wrap my arms in sticky tape, and then I'll just go like this to pick it up. So
you're one of the sticky bandits from Home Alone 2.
I don't know, that's just the first thing that came into my mind.
All right, last story. I went to Derby Day with my boyfriend of 3 years. We even wore matching outfits and filmed a cutesy Instagram story at the gates of Flemington. By race 5, my boyfriend was pissed as a parrot. By race 6, he was missing, and none of his mates or me could find him. In the end, I found him near the members bar, fully pashing some girl who looked about 20 years older than him. Not a quick kiss either, a passionate kiss, tongues out, flicking each other's... Ugh. He saw me and froze and tried to laugh it off and said it was just mucking around and that everyone was kissing for fun. We're just kissing for fun. It's just fun kissing. I was fucking fuming, but I didn't scream, I didn't cry. I just said, you can get the train home with her. And I stayed there drinking with my friends. I blocked him before race 7. And then, I blocked him before race 7 jumped. It was the best decision I made all spring carnival.
Nice.
There you go.
Good on ya.
Well done, sister.
That's funny, though.
Mate.
Everyone's kissing. It was just for fun.
I'm just doing fun kissing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. I'm just rubbing my knob on her bits because that's fun rubbing. That's fine. Everyone's rubbing. All right, folks, please prepare yourself. Mallysa has her controversial race day playbook. And so we've got the rule, and we've got pros and cons to each of these rules, and we're kind of going to decide which one we prefer. Mallysa, take it away, please.
Number 1, eat food before you go. Pro, you won't get drunk by race 3. Con, you'll have to spend twice as much trying to get drunk.
Okay, so I guess that's... Well, what would you prefer? Would you rather not eat and be blind early, or eat and maybe have a bit more longevity to the day?
I'd rather not eat and get blind early because then I'll save money in buying drinks.
The tight ass is back, ladies and gentlemen. The tight ass is back. Personally, I would like to eat a big meal, actually, before going, because I know, like, people, whenever they forego a meal, they say, I'll get something to eat there. You'll never get something to eat there. I reckon people that go to the fucking races, and even if they're in, like, great marquees with unbelievable food and chefs and shit, I don't know if it's just me, but if I'm drinking, I can't eat.
Yeah, same.
And especially if dudes are doing coke and shit there, they will not eat. They're just in booze mode. So for me, I reckon I like the idea. I like the idea of eating food before you go.
Well, also, you can spew it up and you'll just have like a full fresh spew with lots of chunks.
But that's better than...
Or if you don't eat, you'll just vomit bile, which is a plus.
No, it's not a plus.
It's a pro.
That's fucking horrendous. Fucking nothing worse than chucking up bile. Just all acidic and you got nothing in your guts and it's wretched.
Bloodshot eyes.
Yuck. All right. Number 2. Sunglasses all day. Pros. It cuts the glare and it hides your eyes and makes it easy to fucking perv. Con. You'll have that shocking tan line that everyone fucking has when they wear fucking glasses to the races.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking? Do you wear the glasses? If you're a dude, I guess this is specifically for... chicks wear them too, but more dudes out there with their speed dealer Mate, when I was going to the races, everyone had Oakleys.
Yeah.
All these dudes wearing really nice suits and the most bogan white fucking Oakleys wrapped around their heads, speed dealer sunnies going around.
Well, chicks would be wearing hats.
So they don't need it for the sun glare.
And you can wear sunscreen.
So what do you think? If it's a dude, do you risk the tan line on your fucking noggin in order to be able to see all day and perv unrestricted?
Yeah.
I reckon you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I reckon you just need sunnies that match the outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I think no sunnies could match the outfit.
Really?
Yeah. And plus, a lot of guys look hotter when they've got glasses on, so it's misleading to women.
Well, like Pitbull. Mr. Worldwide with his fucking shades.
All right. Matching outfits with the group. Pro. elite for photos, easy to find each other in the crowd, and a feeling of unity.
Yep.
Cons, you look like you're attending a low-budget corporate retreat.
Yes. Look, as I said in the first story, we wore matching ties, right? And they weren't matching. They were just, everyone had a green tie of fucking some description. And that was cool because it was easier to find my mates in that little section. But wearing like a full fucking outfit, I think if you're young and you're just going there to run a fucking muck, yes. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't like wearing matching outfits. If I'm going to go do something like this, I just want to try to look as best as I can because I never dress up.
Yeah. I like when they wear costumes, you know, like horse costumes and like they do funny stuff.
Well, then that's this. So you're pro this.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, fair enough. You know, one year the first time I ever went to the races of any kind, apart from when I was a young kid, I was 17, so it was 1999, and I went to Melbourne Cup Day. And my girlfriend at the time, her brother was there doing something, so we sort of went to pick him up, and we were just hanging around. And even though I knew I was only going to be there for a few hours, I got one of the fucking slab boxes from home, a VB slab, and I made a top hat out of it. And I was just walking around the races with a VB top hat, a wife-beater singlet, and I had a broken arm at the time. I would have looked like the biggest fucking bogan you've ever seen.
See, I like that.
Yeah.
I would have found you very attractive.
Well, thank you. Unfortunately, no one else did. I can definitely tell you that. All right. Start early. If you start early, the day feels longer. You got more races and more stories. The con is you finish by 4:30 and considering a nap in the grandstand. Or not even considering, sometimes people are taking naps in the grandstand.
Yeah.
Me, I don't know, man. If I'm, like, with that Bucks Party situation, I was in for the whole day because I had to be. But if I had it my way, I probably would have started a little later.
Yeah.
I'm not big into day drinking.
Same. I would rather go later and then go to a club afterwards.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
the problem with this is if all your mates are getting blind during the day, then they're bombed out by 6 o'clock. Unless they've got the, the
it has to
Columbia
be an
marching
agreement.
powder.
It has to be an agreement with who you're going with.
Yeah. So
you're going to go later.
Me, I'm for it. I'm for starting early.
I'm against it.
You're against it.
Yeah.
Okay.
One big bet. Pro, creates focus, makes the race feel electric.
Uh-huh.
Con, if it loses, your mood tanks and suddenly everyone else is an idiot.
100%. I think that's definitely a con. One big bet is shit. I would rather bet throughout the day because then I've got more little pockets of excitement.
Yeah, of course.
Rather than one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I've been thinking about this whole time is how do they place bets? Do you have to line up and is the line really long? I would hate that.
Back in the old days when there was bookies and shit, you could just kind of walk up and do it. And I wonder, some places still have little TAB stands, I'm pretty sure. But I reckon nowadays everyone's just doing it on their phone.
No, but I mean back then, before you could do it on your phones. Like the lines must have been
Yeah,
really long.
there was some big lines, yeah.
that'd
But
be
when you were in
shit.
like a better section, the lines were smaller and shit.
Right, okay. All right, next one.
Champagne over beer. Classy, fast, efficient buzz. Con. Expensive, deceptive, and suddenly you're speaking French and down $600. Yeah, 100% I am against this. There's no amount of champagne.
Yeah.
I've fucking drank a few types of champagne in my life. Never have I chose it. It's just not my fucking thing.
Yeah.
But I've drank a $30 bottle, and I thought, that's not too bad. I can actually stomach this, like a glass of it. I definitely couldn't drink it all day. And then, because I thought that was so good, I went out and bought a $250 bottle, and it tasted like fucking horse piss. It was terrible.
Yeah. If I was in a really classy environment, like if I was with the king and the queen and someone gave me champagne, I would drink it and be like, "Ugh, this is disgusting."
Yeah?
Yeah, I just don't like it. I'll have a beer any day. Over anything, really.
And that's why I love you.
I don't even like spirits.
I love spirits.
I just like a beer.
Give me a Jim Beam white can any fucking day, mate. That's my pinnacle.
I would have like a gin and tonic or a Bacardi and lemonade.
Yeah.
But it has to be Lift, not Sprite.
Wow, really? That's very specific.
It's more lemony, you know?
What about Solo?
Yeah, same. Lift,
Okay.
Solo, same.
All right. I stand by that. That's not too bad.
Leave before the last race. Pro, beat traffic, maintain dignity, wake up semi-human.
Mm-hmm.
Cons, you'll forever believe the winner you liked in the last race would have saved the day.
Yes. Look, in my heart of hearts, I know that I would never leave because I would always be hoping that we're going to kick on and do something magical. But it just never goes that way. If I was thinking right and doing the right thing, I definitely think leaving before it all gets to the fucking end is the best tactic. But I know I could never do that.
The end is always the funnest. That's when everyone who's had way too much, everyone's a fucking mess. That's when you're picking up, making out with whoever.
Yes.
You're riding on wheelie bins. That's
You got your tie around your head.
That's like the epic time, I think.
Very good call. Very good call by you.
It's like when you leave the football early and you're basically robbing yourself of a chance of a massive, amazing comeback.
I get too nervous.
I know, but how about the times that I've made you stay and it is like, because we like make a comeback and we're winning.
Yeah, that rarely happens. Normally it's bitter defeat and I walk home so deflated and I walk home in a crowd
but
deflated.
But the times that it happens...
The times that it comes up, it is good.
Yeah.
It is good.
There's nothing like it.
No. But yeah, definitely for me, you'd have to stay to the end.
Yeah.
You just have to stay to the end.
Agreed.
Last one. The let's go to the casino call. Pros. Extends the fun. Could turn the day around if you've got losses because there's still betting to be done. Cons. It has literally never turned the day around. So in my first story, I was in suburbia. I went to the Caulfield Cup, and that was one of my great adult race day experiences. But by far the most crazy was the time I actually went to the country races. Now, this wasn't for a bucks party. I think it was for a 30th birthday. And a friend of mine took us all to Avoca, which is out sort of way past Ballarat and stuff. And we went out there, and he actually booked a table that was on the near the finish line. You could book actual tables, and it was easy because they're country races. It's not as big of a deal, but it was a massive deal for us. So we rolled down there in a little bus that took us all the way to Avoca, and it was just carnage. Like from the first second we jumped off the bus, I have never seen human beings this pissed before. The country does it better, way better. We walked into this little section where there was a bar and everything. This was sort of like the first thing you see before you walk out to the track. And the first fucking thing I see is two women who were really well dressed. You know, they were really dressed to the nines. And one of them fucking face planted blind drunk with her champagne. She had two champagnes and smashed. And I turn around because I just heard the smash and I see her face down. And the first thing I saw is two little half-cut strawberries just roll and touch my shoes. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? They must have been like on top of her champagne. And then she goes, oh my God. She turns around and she's laughing that hard. There's champagne and glass all over the fucking floor. And she's laughing that much. She's rolling around in the glass and champagne. She's got blood dripping from her fucking hands. And she just gets up, pissing herself, and her friend's like, oh my God, Margaret, you're such a pisser. And then they fucking just get up and they just run over to their group of friends.
Oh,
like it was fucking beautiful, man. And as the day progressed, I've just never seen people this fucking drunk. It was a thing of beauty. There was a group of guys there and they were fucking around wrestling. They were kind of near where our group was. We didn't even go. We maybe went once or twice over to where our actual table was near the finish line, but we just went where all the fucking carnage was. And there was groups of blokes there wrestling each other. Some of them had actual cowboy hats, and it didn't look like ironic, like they came dressed as cowboys. They just came there dressed as they dress. And they're fucking wrestling. They're fucking tearing each other's good shirts, like ripping their fucking shirts open. And at one point, these two dudes, their entire outfits were fucking destroyed. And everyone's going, he lost. They're pointing out who lost. And the bloke that lost, he took his full shirt off, and about 6 blokes took the belts out of their pants and were whipping his fucking back with these belts. God. That was like his punishment for losing. It was fucking unbelievable. But the craziest thing that happened that day, there was sort of a section near the car park where there was a big bus and there was people kind of hanging out there, and there was one chick, an American chick, right? Which was very fucking bizarre that she was out there, like to hear a full like, hey guys, how's it going? Like American accent. And she just kept flashing, woo, and lifting her fucking top up. And she kept flashing her titties, and I was just like wrapped. And I'm just like, trying to fucking talk to her and shit, but there was just, she knew a bunch of these people there. And the bus that was on the side, they must have came in. It had tinted windows, and at one point, you see her and this dude go up into the fucking bus, and she gave this dude a fucking hand job and started riding him, and we could see their complete silhouettes. It was like a peep show from the fucking 1800s. It was unbelievable. And there was like 40 of us, like me and like two mates, and fucking a bunch of people just going, look, you can fuck, oh my God, she's pulling him off. And when they were going for it, we were cheering, like when they changed positions and everything. Yeah! It was fucking unbelievable. And in the end, fucking someone else went in there to sort of say, hey, we can see what you're doing. And he got fucking involved. And then everyone else is just like, oh, yeah! Everyone's cheering. She was fucking doing two of them. And it was craziness, man. It was fucking craziness. It was off the charts. It was fucking off the charts. And the coolest thing was, to end this fucking race day, a fucking giant flatbed truck just pulled up in the sort of car park area, and there was more paddock around there, and a fucking full band just started playing. And I'm not talking like strumming. These dudes were playing AC/DC. They played Metallica. Mate, after you're fucking blind drunk at the fucking races, a bunch of fucking pissed yobbos and shit jumping around to Hell's Bells by AC. It was fucking unbelievable.
Wow.
It was the best race day I ever went to by a fucking country mile. Pardon the pun. The only shit thing was, we were so damn close, so damn far out from everything else. We all really wanted to kick on because we had such a good time. And the bus driver's like, yeah, no worries, I'll get you back out. It'll be about 2.5, 3 hours. And you're just sitting in a fucking bus like this for 3 hours to get home.
Go home.
Yeah, it was great. If we stayed up there and went, I don't know if there was any local bars or pubs or anything, but fucking, what an experience it was, man. What an experience it was. The race day peep show. It's fucking unbelievable.
That poor lady.
Poor lady. She was having the time of her life. Just think about it.
She doesn't know that everyone's cheering and watching.
100,000% she did. It would have. If I'm in a bus, right? But the buses aren't soundproof, and there's 40 people cheering your every move. They can see us.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like tinted windows or anything.
It was tinted for us, but have you ever been in a bus? You can see outside the windows.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I wouldn't assume that no one can see me, that's for sure.
Well, I'm telling you, we could see everything. You could fully see even like the nipple in the silhouette. It was a thing of beauty. It was a thing of beauty. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you ever so kindly for spending yet another moment with us here on your evening or morning, depending on where you're listening to this. Might be in the car on the way to work, might got home from work and cleaning the house and listening to us two knuckleheads, but either way, it means a fucking hell of a lot to us. And please follow us on Spotify if you're not already. Jump to YouTube or TikTok or what else are we on? Facebook, Instagram, all that shit. Mallysa, what is next week's topic? Please.
Funniest things that have happened at a wedding.
Wedding day disasters. Or cool shit. Either way, we want to hear your stories. Did anything happen at your wedding? Did you bust someone at a wedding screwing one of the bridesmaids? Did you see an auntie get up and just half pissed and make a speech where she just went down the line and told off everyone in the family how much she hates them? Whatever it is, we want to fucking know. We want to know.
Oh, man. I'm just thinking of some stuff anyway.
What kind of stuff? What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
No, I can't even say it.
You can't say it?
Nah.
All right, we'll save it for next week.
No, I can't.
Why?
Because, it's hard when your friends or people that you know listen to this and you know that they know that if you say it, that you're talking about them.
Ah.
So it's just one of those things. So I'll tell you later.
All right, tell me later and I'll work it into next week's episode in a coded language. Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, we absolutely love you. Thank you very much. Ready for the ethereal voices?